surprisingly very enthusiastic from the people who, most of the time what happens is that they come to listen to a concert, listen to me sing, and most of the time those were not people who were interested in Indian music to start with, so it's very interesting to see how they actually connect with the songs and with the sounds, the ragams and the improvisation. And some people really like, it's like a discovery they had, because Carnatic music still today, it's only a small group of people in the world, in the West, that is aware of it. Some, researchers, scholars, some musicians who've been, but to the general public, Carnatic music is very unknown. So people are very surprised. Oh, I had never heard such a sound and such, so people are very, very interested, and I feel there's a genuine interest. The workshop also is very, some people take workshop, usually after a concert, the next day I do like what I call a discovery workshop, where I just teach the basics. Just give a first glimpse of what Carnatic music is, we sing and then I explain a few things. It's very simple. It's very anyone can join, and it's also usually for the people it's a whole new experience. The whole way that the way in which we teach, in the way the teachers sing and then the students repeat. And that I don't make them read or write, or just sitting there, repeat, listen for the first. So and what I find is that at first I was a bit resistant teaching, to be honest, but I realized also with the advices of my guru that it's a question sometimes that I wonder, why am I doing this Carnatic music, in France? Because really that's my aim, is to make this music more known and appreciated in the West. And sometimes I wonder why people, they have their own culture, their own music. Why would they want to, know a new music or learn? It's so different, it's so completely different. And there's nothing in the culture there that apparently has any connection with it. So people really have to have a very precise wish, to learn this music. So, but I realized that it brings in those people, when people learn, even the basics of Carnatic music, there is something in the way that it's as if they discover something new about themselves. And that's very useful for them now in France or in the UK or wherever it is, even though it's a different culture, but it allows them to appreciate Carnatic music. So if Carnatic music is, because to appreciate Carnatic music, you need some background information, not for everyone. Sometimes you can be just touched by it. But the fact that people know, even if they just learn Saregamapadanisa and they have some some awareness of what this music is, then next time they hear it, they can connect with it. So only if that happens, then Carnatic music is appreciated, listened, loved, and then it will continue its journey,
Yes.
So
in how different, do they feel about Western music, where it's clearly there's notation and you have a very specific way of it's clearly written, and then you sing it exactly that way, and then you have this whole improvisational style in Indian classical music. And how difficult was it for you, for example, to come from that background and into this? Where suddenly you have this freedom, but at the same time there are certain rules.
Freedom, actually, a very long time. That's why it's one of the main misconceptions that people have about Indian music when they don't know, is that they imagine that because we have all this importance given to improvisation, that it means Indian music is freedom, And Western music, because there's a score, it's not true.
Okay.
It's not true. Like I've starting improvisation after 5 or 6 years into my learning.
Okay.
So people often get very disappointed when they in Hindustani music it's a little different. There's a way in which you can right away do some improvisation, but in Carnatic music, it's to make people happy, you can show them some phrases and then we can repeat. But to understand the whole process, which is I think it was very special about the way that I've learned music, because I was able to. I had enough time. I was there here in Chennai to learn, as knowing that it would take as many years as it needs to. Which how to say? See, to learn this music really like step by step, it needs lots of time, and you can't be in a hurry, which it's very difficult not to be when you're French or a human being. But I think it's a Western thing to to try to, you want to understand, and you want to, the first years I was like, I don't know how I'm supposed to do that, how am I going to do? My teacher would just tell me, just relax, just learn this thing, then the time will come when you'll be, understanding what's happening. So it takes a long, even now, when I'm practicing and learning a lot around improvisation now, it takes a lot of work, and you have to give up all these rigid ideas that we have, so maybe it's the same for Indians, but I know as a Westerner, to be able to follow step by step, the process, to not just be able, it's one thing to be able to given, okay, you will sing this like that, like, you're telling me you will sing this phrase like that, and then to repeat it is one thing, that we can make many people sing Carnatic music by doing that. It's not bad, but it's a very different thing, because then only if you have experienced the music from within and internalized it, then what will come will be genuine, the music. So that is difficult to do. So in the West, what I'm trying to do when I teach the basics, even like a little more advanced than the basics, is that I'm trying to make people not to be in a hurry, to be able to sing when they want to be able to sing something, they can show their friends, oh look, I'm singing Indian music, and then they use it, and I'm trying to just make them experience the value and the depth of one phrase that is sung in Shruti, and then singing with that one phrase with complete commitment has more value than singing 500 songs approximately, or being able to repeat one raga alapana because you have to show it to your friends or something. So we'll see how it goes. It's difficult because people want to have a package and they want to be able to produce, and but that's what comes out of this workshop or classes for Westerners, is that the process of learning, with even the basics, Swarali, Varsha, everything, it's a very good tool for observing oneself, and so they learn things about themselves, and so their being becomes involved, and so I think it's useful for music.
Okay.